but we're grateful to be here. Truthfully, I didn't think I'd ever be here. I really thought we would be retiring from Smyrna. Um, but your story is your story. And the bishop reached out to me and she said, "This is what I need you to do." And I said, I gave her 3 names of people I thought would do it better. The truth is the truth. And she said, "That's sweet." That's sweet. That's cute. And we talked some more. And then she called me and she said, "Derek, I'm not going to make you, because that's not the way this should operate. You've earned the right. If you think this is where you need to be, I'm not going to make you. But your bishop is asking you. Your bishop is asking you." And I'm a third generation United Methodist preacher. The folks at 9 o'clock just heard me say, I owe everything good in my life to the United Methodist Church. I literally did not have it in me to have the bishop ask me to do this and say no. I am a product of the United Methodist Church in every sense of the word. And as I've looked through my past year of a lot of ministries that we were working on and building, and I was only growing in it, I think God was working through the bishop to prepare me to be the senior pastor of the Roswell United Methodist Church. The bishop had a vision, the bishop saw it, and I'm grateful that worked out. Grateful to be here, grateful to be a part of ministry with you. My passions are preaching. When I get done preaching, my passion is preaching. I enter the world through preaching. Everywhere I go, I'm looking for a sermon illustration. You'll hear one at 11 o'clock today or 11:15 today that happened on Friday. You'll hear it on Friday. I even leaned over to Jen and said, "That guy just entered the sermon." And she said, "Why?" And I told her why. And she said, "Well, a better story would be," and she was right. So they're both in there. But right behind preaching and preaching, I believe in missions as the heart of the church. I believe in missions. And so do you. And you know how I know it? Well, first of all, I've seen the most transformative missions that I've ever seen in ministry over the last 2 weeks. And the Must Feeding ministry, the job networking I'd heard about it, but actually standing in it is incredible. Saw people who are driving to Augusta once a month to work in 100-degree heat and fight gnats. As a part of your ministry, as a part of your church was absolutely incredible. But that's not the only reason I know. You've got it on your doors. Enter to worship, leave to serve. Now, I do want to remind you of the enter to worship part. I need you in worship. This next generation needs you in worship. We need you in worship to help build the worshiping community, for people to see what worship looks like, for people to experience powerful, transformative, Jesus praising worship that's challenging, that's engaging, and captivating. I don't know if y'all have met Angela and her choir and her music ministry, but it is all of that. And I will try to keep up with that with the preaching. But I need you. I need you to hear your preacher. Like the bishop said to me a year ago, I'm saying to you, I need you in worship. And I'll be saying that across to every Sunday school class. We need you in worship. I was sitting with the Davises on, was that Friday? Thursday. The days are running together on me right now. On Thursday, and they were telling me about how they, back in the day, did new member classes where they would introduce people to one another. I need Roger to teach people how he did that, because you don't learn that anymore, and the majority of churches don't have that as part of their DNA. We do that. Yes, we need to be pouring into families, inviting people, introducing people, including people, connecting people, not just to one another, but to Christ. And that is the hope and the transformation of the world. I feel like I should take questions as I look at my SPR chair to make sure he doesn't fall out at that suggestion that I take questions. Marion, can I take questions? Okay, all right. So Marion's kind of my handler when Susan's not around. We were in a meeting this past week, or was it 2 weeks ago? The days are running together on me right now. And somebody said at the end of this, Derek can start taking questions. And Marion goes, no, he can't. No, he can't. And the reason is because I'll answer them. So Marion and Susan are handling me well right now. So questions. Favorite football team? I was 7 years old in 1980, and my family is from Athens, Georgia. My dad was a diehard Georgia Tech fan. One of my sons has Georgia Tech on his backpack. And the first time I saw it, I was like, what are you doing? We're a Georgia family. And then I remembered your dad's a Georgia Tech fan who lived through all of that patiently and quietly. If Tech's not playing Georgia, I root for Tech. Seriously. And growing up in Columbus in the 80s, you Auburn people, was hard to be a Georgia fan. So I've always had some feelings about that until I met Boots Ballard in Villa Rica, Georgia, who is one of the biggest Auburn fans in the world. And so every now and then you'll see me wear a blue and orange tie. And the Georgia fans will go, what are you doing? And I'll say, I'm thinking about Miss Boots. And so I'm a Georgia fan, but the days of me letting 18, 19s, and 20-year-old boys affect my emotions on Sunday morning are gone, long gone. But I'm a Georgia fan. And my youngest is a Georgia graduate. He didn't care anything about sports at all until he got to Athens. And 2 of his 4 years were filled with national championships in football. So all of a sudden he likes football now. As a matter of fact, at his graduation, they said 2-time defending national champions. I see I'm having fun with people right now. And national champions. So we'll keep it moving. Other question. And the Falcons, I'm a Falcons fan. I can't let it go. I try and I keep checking and hoping, and I'm Charlie Brown with the football, and it is what it is.
What is your vision for giving for the future? You said you'd answer up. Hear this.
Oh. Please,
What's my vision for giving? And I think what he's asking is, are you going to challenge people to give? Our standard of living should be dictated by our standard of giving, not our standard of giving dictated by our standard of living. Our standard of living should be dictated by our standard of giving. Our standard of giving should not be dictated by our standard of living. We are in an extremely affluent community. I don't know if you know that or not, but you live in an extremely affluent community. And the generations of some of those, mostly in their 20s and 30s, are living in one of the most high pressure cultures for debt there is. So we will do a stewardship series in the month of October that culminates in Be the Light, that culminates in stewardship, that one of which will say debt is bad. It's not just about generosity. It's about developing healthy habits, healthy lifestyle habits, healthy lifestyle that is around being healthy. One of the things you should know is millennials and Gen Z are walking in at one of the highest rates of church. They are now looking for institutional church. They are looking for church at the highest rate since boomers.
Wow.
I don't know if you know any boomers, but at the highest rates since boomers. Now, I'm Gen X, and my generation walked away. But millennials and Gen Z, when you read the Barna research, when you read the Mission Insight, they are walking in and looking for church at the highest rate since post-World War II. And what's even more encouraging than that, because we asked about giving, so I'm answering giving, they are giving at the highest rate since your generation as well. They are walking in being generous. They are walking in. Now, these are the folks that were shaped by 9/11. They grew up in schools in 9/11. They grew up in that culture. They've never been to an airport where they didn't have to take off their belt or their shoes. That security that we get frustrated with, that's all they've ever known. They lost their graduations to COVID. They lost their proms. they went to college and then graduated from college really, really wanting what the institution offers. And we as the church can either take that seriously or not. We as the church can either say, we want to make sure y'all fit into what we think church can be, or we can sit and listen to their passion and say, tell us what you're looking for. Tell us what's connecting you to Christ. Help us understand and help us come alongside you and help you raise your families and raise your kids in that historic, faithful way of being a disciple of Jesus Christ, but help us serve you so that you can then tell us how to serve your neighbors and your friends and your friend group and your spheres of influence so that we can continue to move forward in reaching as many young people with the gospel of Jesus Christ as possible. Because at the end of the day, that's the job. At the end of the day, the job is to introduce people to the gospel of Jesus Christ and to help them to be a disciple of Jesus. The rest of the stuff is just stuff.
In reference to that generation coming back, I've been reading that also, and trust is what I read, that they're coming back. Why trust?
Trust. They
Can you
it
repeat the question?
wasn't really a question, it was a statement. The statement was she's reading the same information. And if I say it wrong, correct me. She's reading the same stuff, she's seeing the same stuff, and the number one they're saying they're coming back is because of trust. And that trust is an issue, and that trust is something they're looking for, and the ability to trust and the ability to believe in is something that is really, really important to that generation.
There, an example of this, have you talked to Ellen Shepherd about her group of women that she gets together? She has hit on something with that.
She has.
And the marvelous thing about it is the merging of the generations.
Yes.
There with that.
The first person I sat down with was Charlotte Dodson. I went and sat with her first, and then went and started sitting with all the retired clergy, of which Ellen is one, and started asking those questions and tell me what I need to know, tell me who I need to meet, and tell me what you're thinking. And in that conversation with Ellen, she told me about her daughter Meg, but the importance of discipleship and the importance of generation to generation and the importance of bringing those people together. And Meg is a part of a culture. Meg is a part of a group of women that are desperately looking for a community, desperately looking for people, not just to be part of their network, but for their families, and to make sure that their kids are surrounded by families who are living in that community and living in that, so that their kids are being impacted by those same values and those same core values. Yes.
We have your beautiful wife stand so everybody can see her.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
She shared about what she's doing. You might want to speak. Nope.
She is the power behind. She is who makes everything run on time. She's who makes everything work. But I'm the talker.
You want to understand how the young people are coming when you go to Wednesday night supper. There's hundreds of ankle biters.
Yes.
And they run up and down and back and forth. To me, that's a great sign that a lot of them go to choir afterwards or this or that or the other. But it's one mom, I remember seeing her. She had one in a pouch, or what do you call those things? Yeah, and then she had one by one hand, one hand by the other, and the diaper bag on the shoulder. I thought, yeah.
Well, and as we were getting ready to leave the sanctuary, the 9 o'clock service, we had a young mom come up to us who's got 4 kids and was telling us about how what's happened in the past couple of years and all the revitalization and all the families. She grew up in this church, and so yeah, that's exactly
So
right.
it's quite, it's really hard to do.
Other questions? Yes.
Talking about Wednesday night suppers. Our class goes out on Wednesday nights in the summertime when Jacob is not doing his Wednesday night suppers. Our CUC class extends an invitation to you, Pastor Barrett and Jennifer, if your schedule permits, to join us next Wednesday night. We will be dining at the Marietta Fish Market at 5:30. You're our guest if you all can join us.
Let me talk to my boss, Susan. But thank you for that. But and you're going to hear me say this over and over and over. Susan runs my calendar, and literally on Monday she tells me what I'm doing that week. So if I'm available, I'll be there. She's working in Douglasville. I don't know if she'll be able to make it that fast. But if available, we'll be there. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
like to second what Sharon said about the women's ministry
Yes, ma'am.
that has begun. Last May, I went to a retreat. There were 40 people. Now there are over 250 who are coming to these regular, every quarter, women's ministries dinners. And there's another one coming up on August the 18th. I think that's the right date.
right.
Okay, August 18th will be another one. Will be the third one this month.
Nice.
So I strongly recommend, ladies, it's great because you see all kinds of people, all kinds of women, all kinds of Methodists who are happy to be together.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Let me, go ahead, Vince. Vince, right? Did I get that right? Vince.
10 years ago, this class was involved in every mission the church had, actively involved. We're not as agile as we were 10 years ago.
For yourself.
I felt that in my spirit coming from somewhere in the room.
That's 10 years ago. But the long and short of it is, as you unfold your plan, will you keep in mind that we've got willing workers. We may not be as fast, but if you need something, keep us in mind.
Like we talked about Thursday, especially the folks, excuse me, I'm gonna do that in that room too. The ADHD is real. The only ones who remember what it was like when the place was full are the people who were here when the place was full. We need to be learning and listening and hearing what it takes and passing that along to generation. I did not come here to sit in empty rooms. I'm just going to tell you, I fish. I don't keep an aquarium. Now that means I'm going to challenge you to fish. Every month I send, some of you may have already gotten one. I don't know if there's anybody here over 80. But every month I send birthday messages to those folks 80 and older. For the month of July, 48. 48. I also send them to 6-year-olds for their 6th birthday. 4. 4. We have work to do. Amen?
Amen.
You know what I came here to do? Work. Fish. Do you know who knows what this place looked like full the most? You. I need you. That's why I started with, I need you in worship, because I'm going to need section captains. Remember those? Yes, sir.
On behalf of our class, I want to thank you for accepting the challenge. Okay. Number 2, this is a phenomenal group, and I convinced the resources and the talent pool is off the chart.
And I feel that.
Speak for the class. Use us.
We are going to. I'm also going to frustrate you. I've been waiting on that with you, and I've told Bob as well. We need some dumpster days here in a hurry. Did anybody know what that means? There are classrooms that are being used as storage that need to be classrooms again. So we need to empty those classrooms so that we can fill them again.
We have experience.
Yes, I bet. So the quickest way to make sure that those spaces become ministry transformation areas again is to quit using them as closets. Now, you know who that's going to cause some panic for? Marion's already put her back against the wall. I'm causing some panic for her right now as a minister to operations. Yeah, take away the microphone. That's right. But this is what it looks like. That's what it looks like. It's like looking at those spaces and saying these need to be ministry areas again, not storage. If you go to 11:15, and I hope all of you go to 11:15 if you weren't at 9, I'm going to end the sermon by saying this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the end. Jesus Christ says the gates of Hades will not prevail against the church, and the church needs you. I can either believe that or I can think Jesus is a liar.
Amen.
We hope it's not the last.
I can either believe that and give my life to that and pour my entire passion and heart into that which means all of the narrative around church decline is not true. It just means we're not really living out the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because if we give ourselves fully to the gospel of Jesus Christ, it's not just the gates of Hades won't prevail against it, is these rooms won't stay empty. And that's, at the end of the day, the core and the rock of the church, that Jesus Christ says, I'm overcoming the world, and we need to invite people into that relationship.
You know, back during COVID, we had Zoom. And COVID was over, and we still have Zoom. And I have always wondered how we can fill the church up with Zoom. It's like 400 or 500 people on Zoom.
Mhm.
You know, those people could get dressed to go to church. Except some that are handicapped or in, you know, nursing homes or something like that.
So I hear you, and I'm sometimes I will say stuff and go, "Ooh, I was wrong." I don't know if you ever had a preacher that way, but you will hear me say a lot, "Ooh, I was wrong." In January of 2020, remember those days? In January of 2020, we were in a worship planning meeting, and they were saying we really ought to do online church. And I said, I will never do online church as long as I live. I'm not getting people a reason to not come to church. You know what we did in March of 2020? Went on Zoom online church and spent about $120,000 over the span of 3 weeks to be able to do it. The moment that you say I'll never, God laughs. So there are people that need online church. Just 1 second. You're going to hear data a lot from me. Jeff Ross actually looked it up for us in Mission Insight. In 2019, 52% of this community, 30075, were part of a faith community. They were a part of a religious community, 52%. Now, you may want to guess what that number is? It's 35%. COVID has dropped to 17%. There's plenty of people to fill these rooms. There's plenty of people who need the gospel of Jesus Christ. We can do both. This is the Roswell United Methodist Church. Come follow me. Offer them Christ. Enter to worship. Leave to serve. It's always been here. It's here. We just have to take it seriously and challenge one another and believe and do the hard work and the fun work. So one of the things I learned at Smyrna, and there's a lot of things I learned. One of the things I learned at Smyrna is the goal is not to fill the rooms. The goal is to be part of a faith community that loves one another, that cares one another, that builds connections, that builds relationships, and you love one another to make sure that each other's ministry is supporting. You win together and you lose together. The goal is not filling the rooms. That's a product. The goal is to build family relationships. The goal is to build connections where you partner with one another, you invest in one another, you care about one another. My goal will be to connect you to people that not only will love you, but will learn from you and hopefully teach you some things as well. Across the generations, from generation to generation. I could do this all day. This is the stuff I went to seminary for. I love this stuff. Go ahead.
While I was raising my hand, she just whispered to me, but I was on Zoom from Indiana to see.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Although her mother's been a member of this church for 100 years, she's living out of state, but she's still with us.
You know how I met y'all?
On Zoom.
On Zoom?
Yeah.
I was watching you pretty regularly. The bishop came to me last fall. So and I watched when Bob and his band of excellent leaders came and talked to you about the next senior pastor. I was watching it that night. I looked at Jen and went, ooh.
Cut you off, did we?
No, you didn't. It is a tool. It's a tool. It is a tool. That sanctuary is a tool. At the end of the day, for me, job networking will be a tool. The must feeding ministry will be a tool. The ministries are tools on how to reach people at the end of the day for the gospel of Jesus Christ. Everything else is just everything else. Tom?
I just want to add a comment. What you described, the fellowship and community is what you see in this class. The strength of this class is looking after each other, caring and visiting and worshiping together.
I told this story at 9. The part of being as extemporaneous as I am in the preaching, you don't know which stories you're going to tell. So I may tell this one at 11:15, I may not. I really don't know. They asked me, are you going to pray before or after the sermon? The band did. I was like, I don't know. I don't know until I'm in the moment. But the one I told at 9 was, I'm over 100 text messages, emails, and Facebook messages from the question of what do you love about the church, local church, and what are the rocks of the church? You have been responding powerfully. And the story I told this morning was of a woman in the church who talked about her mother dying. And when she lost her mom, how heartbreaking it was. But then she had like 20 moms come alongside her. She was talking about y'all. She said it was from the CUC. She said she was talking about y'all. So, yes, yes.
We are family.
We are indeed.
Everybody needs a CUC.
Everybody needs a CUC.
One more question?
I'd like to ask you one.
Yes, ma'am.
And you may already be doing this on the church roll. I know a lot of times, even in class, people kind of get lost in the wayside. You know, they don't come, nobody reaches out to them maybe. Is there a way you can go through like the church roll for a certain number of years and look and see who's not coming? And perhaps I think we do this at Alpharetta. We took people and we personally called them just to check up with them, and then they were removed.
I want to hug you right now. Because I believe in the invitational model. It's one of the things I'm going to teach the clergy and the staff. I believe deeply in the invitational model of us sitting down and not just going through the roll, because the roll sometimes isn't accurate. I'm sure that's not true here. But sometimes the different ministries have their own roles that are not connected to the church in any way, because it works that way. We will sit down as a ministry team, we will sit down as clergy, and we'll staff, and we'll sit and go through those lists and say, who haven't we seen in a while? Who has fallen off? And again, in worship, remember, I come through the world through preaching. In worship, we'll have section captains who will be keeping an eye out and keeping the books and going, who's here and who's not here. And I got a letter last Sunday, and Jen and I read it yesterday. Last Sunday, a woman from Smyrna showed up in Roswell. She and Meg Johnson are best friends. They're best friends, and she showed up in worship. I didn't know she was coming. She's a Emory Choa pediatric neurosurgeon. We got a letter in the mail, and we got back yesterday. She remembered the date, and she even remembered the message that simply was from me reaching out saying, hey, we've missed you. We've missed you. What can we do? Is there anything we can do? We've missed you. She was going through a divorce. She said, my life was literally falling apart. And I prayed on the way home from work that day, God, please send somebody that shows that I haven't been forgotten and that somebody still cares. And that night we had spent the day doing this invitational model, saying, God, who do we need to reach out to? Who's fallen away? And it literally fell to me to reach out to her. And that's all it was. Hey, we miss you. Is there anything we can do? She's kept all of that and I didn't know any of that until this message. She said, Derek, that literally probably didn't save my life, but saved my sanity. And this whole time, you never knew what it meant. But before you go into this next season, I want you to know what it meant. I believe heartily, heavily, passionately, it's going to be one of the places that I drive the staff crazy. Just one. About who are we missing? Who's not? Who do we need to be inviting? Who do we need to be reaching out to? Who has gotten lost? And quite honestly, the Sunday school classes, and I'll tell this story one day too, that God was preparing me for this next season over the last year. The Sunday school classes are the best places to go to find out who's missing, who can we reach out to? Because before we focus on that next generation walking in, we need to make sure the current generation is cared for and healthy and ready to be activated.
We have care teams already in place.
It's incredible.
We are gonna pass the pad and check the pad.
Yes, I will start doing, I have not pushed it with so far, but next week I'll start doing the welcome in the two services here. And I've got a full spiel that I do. And I'll do the same spiel every week that talks about the pad and the importance of the pad. For most people who are sitting on a pew of people they don't know. And so I'll say, here's a way to not have to say, hey, buddy. You can actually look at the pad and learn their name and get to know their name and get to know people around you. But yes, the pad is important.
Allison Davis helps pull those pew pads at the end of the worship service, and then Jill reports them into our database. So but I would say about 25% of people in worship use them.
So the best way for people to get to motivate people to do it. So now we're back to the very first thing I said. The best way to motivate people in those pews to fill out those pew pads is for you to fill them out, to see other people doing it. Do you know what? Do you know the number one reason that would keep you from filling out those pew pads? Not being in the room. I need you in the room. I'm saying that to every Sunday school class. Hear me. We need you in the room to be setting culture, to be setting the bar of saying this is what it means to be the Roswell United Methodist Church as we move forward.
I think too, last Sunday, for instance, the pad, people didn't sign it, it was sitting there.
Yes, ma'am.
And we signed it and I passed it back to them, showed it to them. And I think a lot of times people was just not.
And it also shows we care.
Yeah.
We care who you are and we care that you get connected.
Yeah.
We care.
What about chapel? Did they pass
Well,
on chapel?
I don't know about chapel yet.
My apologies, but we need to get him back over to service. So I get to be the bad guy, but with that, what? Yeah, I'm the bad guy, which is gonna go to it. One, I want to thank you. When I came here with the people, I wanted to thank you for the feedback that you gave, right? I hope you felt that we were listening and y'all were a major impact on us working with the bishop. So thank you for that. Okay?
You did it.
Well, two is, I hope you feel that we have momentum going, right? I hope you feel that we're going the right direction. If you have positive things to say, please share with Derek and the staff. If you have something you're concerned about, please come to me first. Okay? We're building momentum. I promise that I will get with you. I'll talk to you. I'll listen. I'll hear. But please, as we're building momentum, if you have positive things, please go to Derek, Jennifer, the staff about things going. If there's something you're concerned about, please come to me. Okay? Thank y'all. We got to get him go.
There has been tremendous work done by these folks. The health that I'm stepping into, and I need you to hear me saying I'm stepping into health. The health that I'm stepping into has been provided by the excellent leadership, the excellent work that these folks have done to be doing some clearing and doing some work so that we can walk in with momentum and take off from here. So Bob, y'all really did do excellent work and continue to do.
Thank you.
Look, there. A lot of people don't know who this is.
This is Bob Howard. He is our staff parish relations chair. For those of you who may not know what staff parish relations is, it's the HR committee of the church. This is the best way to say it. Otherwise known as the complaint section.
For all problems, go to Bob.
No, seriously, we're building momentum, so thank you.
Thank you.
And also, I've also been told that it's a walk. I will literally drive you over there in a golf cart. I'm not smiling. If I won't, I will make sure that there are people that can drive the golf cart down. Okay, make sure.
I want to say that you have been one of our rocks for the congregation, and so we thank you very much for your consistency. One of the ways that you have been a rock is from establishing our foundation. And so the foundation has already funded the congregation a lot of project money. And so I wanted to say thank you for that. And if you will just humor me and give me the privilege, can I tell you what the foundation has funded real fast?
Dina's going
Okay.
to.
Oh, who is?
Dina will.
Oh, never mind, then I'll let Dina do it. I just want to say thank you because they're projects at this campus that we would not be able to do without the foundation funds. And there are things that we can do and dream because of those foundation funds. So that's part of the rock and that's part of the legacy that you've established. Also, I want to reiterate, I love seeing you in worship. And part of why we do need you in worship is that you get to know our anchored Sunday school class. They're looking for you. Everybody says, we want our class to be like the CUC class. And so if you would, you're a witness to them. And so thank you for that witness.
We're gonna do that next week when we go to the fellowship hall.
Yes, that would be, sit with them, encourage them. Some of them have brand new babies and they're looking like they just need some encouragement. Yeah, just a little love. You let me take that baby from you. So just want to say thank you very much. And also want to tell you that our apportionments are not based on our attendance anymore or our membership roles. I just think that is super important for you to know as we think about our roles. Your apportionment is only based a percentage on your programs and your salaries that you pay.
I
Yes,
just wanna make sure you're not going anywhere.
I'm here for a year. You get promised 12 months at a time and I'm just starting this next 12 months. So you've got we have 11 months. So,
Derek said that when the church is open, there will be a nursery. Is that correct?
correct. Yes. And part of what the foundation funds had to pay for was risers for our children because the last set of risers we had that the children sang on, there were so many of them that one fell off. And got caught, not hurt. We're so happy about that. But we had to get bigger and stronger risers because the growing number of children. And because the growing number of the anchored Sunday school class, we are requiring the nursery to be available when we're here. Yes, in fact, I think there's even a nursery for the party night for the foundation.
Yeah, there is, right.
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you very much for letting us bombard your time. Nancy, thank you for letting us mess up your program time. We really appreciate it. And we'll try to get Derek here again.
Good.